A very warm welcome to Kuala Lumpur. We are at the Titiwangsa Stadium, which is right in the shadow of the Twin Towers and the ever-increasing and expanding skyline of the capital city of Kuala Lumpur. And this Titiwangsa Stadium is the venue for the TM ISTAF Sepaktakraw World Cup. Earlier on today, in the men's team REGU, a victory for Myanmar, who are in action again tonight at 9 o'clock. They beat India by 2 games to 1. Indonesia saw off the challenger Brunei by 3 games to 0. And now at 8 o'clock, we have got Myanmar versus Malaysia. And it promises to be a little bit of revenge. This is the team REGU. In the single REGU, Myanmar beat Malaysia in the semi-final. That was an upset. Myanmar couldn't go on and take the championship itself, but nonetheless, they got the better of Malaysia. It's a 3-team group. The top 2 go through to the quarterfinals, which start tomorrow. India have already been eliminated, so this is just a case of who will be top and who will be second in the respective group. The winner, of course, will be top, and it might just give you a more favourable draw in the quarterfinals if you are top in your group, because you play the second place team in other groups. So we are all just about set. I tell you, a little bit of revenge is in the air. It was a major upset to this near full house when Malaysia were beaten in the individual REGU, because at this venue 2 years ago, Malaysia won the World Cup for the very first time. Now they're trying to win the Team World Cup for the very first time. Thailand are the only nation who have won the World Cup prior to today. And Thailand are also in action in an adjacent court as we watch the Myanmar versus Malaysia match. They're taking on Vietnam in their group. Thailand, they've won 1, Philippines have won 1. Vietnam lost to the Philippines, so we're expecting Thailand to go through as the winners of Group A. Malaysia's entrance in all black today in Group B. It's a 12-man REGU, of which you select 3 different 3-man squads, and the other 3 can play as reserve in any or all of the other 3 matches. You accumulate the matches, and here on Myanmar, and this is a strong squad. Some of these guys are full-time, based in the military camps to hone their skills, and they really are giving Myanmar a place on the world stage. Asian Games gold medal for the very first time for Myanmar. And as we saw, formidable opponents in this World Cup. So while the excitement is high and the expectation is high for the black-clad Malaysia, the men in blue have a job to do, and we know they are capable of it. Here are Malaysia, and their 12 players being introduced, and we'll split them down just a little bit, but big names. If you follow the STL, you recognise all of the names. Haziq Nizam, Zarif Marakan and Zulkifli Razak, alongside the huge presence of Shahir Rosdi just being introduced, are the 4 Tekongs in the group. The 4 strikers are Aslan Alias, Afifuddin Razali, Nur Aizat Nordin and Hafizul Hayazi, who's an excellent man to have in reserve. And the 4 feeders they've selected are Farhan Adam, who seems like he's been around forever, Amrul Zazwan, the 30-year-old based in Kuala Lumpur, Aidil Ayman, and Zulafendi Sumari, who we know him from his time at Negri Sembilan. And the coaching team are Datu Abu Jimmy Samad, Ahmad Jais Baharam and Zulkarnan Muhammad Arif. On the right of that group in the red is the reserve, or is the assistant coach. As for Myanmar, well, the names aren't quite household yet. Well, they are in Myanmar. Should rephrase that. Players to look out for, their 4 Tekongs are Han Win Tut, Chin Tant, Min Tant Tu, and Tant Zin Tun, who is only down as a reserve. Now that's an interesting one. Tant Zin Tun is by far their best Tekong. At killer position, they've got Shim Munazor, Yampiangu Ongong, who's selected to play in match number 2, and Tat Piang So, and the 4 feeders Zin Min U, Ye Tet, Ong Mo Cho and Chit Loon Po. Manager is Mint Lin Tue. Cho Min So and Ong Myo Sui. They share the coaching duties. As always in Sepaktakraw, we give a nod to the officials. And we've been pretty much without any major incidents this tournament, which is good news, and also a tribute to these guys all being introduced. Wants to really take an eye out for, though, are the referee. Radhi Chemay, the vastly experienced Singapore, is the man in charge today. Manjunatha from India will be the assistant referee. The challenge referees from China and Iran, Islamic Republic of Iran, they're at the end of the line, just being introduced. Each team is allowed 2 challengers in a game, and there's a tension here. Both have qualified, so I suppose the tension isn't that high. However, you want to avoid that route that is Thailand in the quarterfinals and semi-finals. And that goes for both teams. There are 3 matches. Each match is best of 3 sets. The winner of each match is what counts towards the final score. So you might win more sets overall. So you lose the first match 2-1, but win the next one 2-0. Right then, the first REGU. Let's have a look here. Malaysia are going with Zulkifli Razak, Afifuddin Razali and Aidil Ayman. That's the East Coast trio, all based and born over on the east coast of Malaysia. Han Wintut, my first view of him. Zin Minu, an experienced feeder, and Wonazor, an experienced striker. As I say, the choice of Zintun as the reserve Tekong really is fascinating. It means he can come on in all 3 matches if required. Okay, all just about set. This is potentially a preview of the final, as the man from Singapore, Radhi Chemay, was involved in the very first World Cup that took place at this venue in 2011, and 6 editions later we return for the 3rd time to Malaysia. His assistant will be Manjunatha from India. There are 2 court officials as well. This is Cho Min So, the slightly more senior of the 2 coaches. That's Sulkan and Arif, the assistant coach, and next to him, the cool, calculating figure, Muhammad Jais Bahra. I don't think, in watching this fella for the best part of a decade, I've ever seen him lose his temper. Right, as usual, best of 3 sets, each set first of 15. If we are level at 14 each, then we go up to a race to 17. So Zulkifli Razak, right-footed, not the tallest, relies on creativity rather than power. Spin serve just to set the point, but it's coming straight back. Myanmar first on the board. Shinwon, first point for him, first point of many we suspect. Wintut, right foot, power, but Ideal deals with that. Afifuddin puts it out. So not the most auspicious of starts as far as Malaysia are concerned. Off the top of the tape, it's being controlled, a self-set and a lovely roll spike from Winazor. Well, he's had Asian Games medals in quadrants and in doubles, so he's more than capable of these double plays. 3-0. That's not what the near full house wanted to see. And it's a confident start from Myanmar. Another good serve. Ideal. Hoists it high. Little tickle over the twine. And we are up and running with Apafood and Rosali, and a first assist for Ideal. Doesn't need a lot of encouragement for these flags to get out at the Titiwangsa Stadium. Nice control from Ideal. Service winner. You can tell by the cheer that Zulkifli is on the board. Solid campaigner, rarely makes the headlines, Zulkifli. That's a good thing. Nice solid left foot planted in the circle, very little movement. 3-2 on the serve, and the first service error. Mintut. Unmoved, the coach. And we're back to parity. 3 in a row for Myanmar, 3 in a row for Malaysia. Deep breath. Apafood in with the ball toss. Equally important. Forward stance for Zulkifli. And the step back. Lobs it down the middle. Back-to-back service winners for Zul. To this Malaysia team that won the SEA Games gold medal for the first time in the team competition. I was in Thailand in December last year. Same REGU, and Zul does a lovely assist, and Apafood does the rest. Some back spike over the shoulder, got his angles wrong first time he tried that shot. Angles spot on this time. Oh, it was called out. No. Oh, and Malaysia, quite rightly, challenge that. And this should be a quick one. Not much doubt about that. In by a long way. I helped myself to a new pair of spectacles a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure they're the right size and the right make. I was a little bit nervous for a moment when that was called out. So 5 points in a row for Malaysia. And Zul with 2 service winners in a row. Again, this front-on stance. Left foot right at the edge of the Tekong circle. Afif. Right, we're dealt with. Winazor is blocked by Afifuddin Razali. They're going to be challenged that. And Afifuddin does sometimes hang his right foot over the net. He jumps very, very close to the net. And sometimes that right foot does hang. This will give us an idea as we look at the replay. Oh, there's a chance there. There is a chance that this might be chalked off. He doesn't go up just vertically. Oh, but he's got away with it. Not over the net. Mighty close. They don't have a sign for that. Well, at the point of contact. That was what they were working about in the follow-through. It's a lot more relaxed. Oh! Kept alive. But Winazor, third and fourth sequence now. Winazor again. Sambak over the shoulder. A striker to be able to go. The roll spike and the Sambak spike is a really, really good skill to have. Third spike winner for Team Winazor. Good contest. 6-4 on serve. Again, just have a look at how he places that. It's forward pointing. So his chest is kind of straight onto the net. Unusual style from Zol, but effective. Winazor, that's splendid. Anytime you're coming away from the net towards the Tekong circle and you get that power, that's a special shot. Team Winazor, 4 spike winners. It's a nice little calm set by Zin Minu. He's the general. Has a lot of work to do. Hips up high, above the top of the net. Musical accompaniment provided by the home fans. It's a party. Winazor, an awkward landing on that last one. Again, you're going away from the net. It was over his shoulder. It wasn't a roll spike, so he landed on his wrists. 5-6 though. 6 points in a row for Malaysia at one stage. Save. Crowd with their own commentary. Satu, dua, tiga. The old 1, 2, 3. And Afifuddin Razali obliges with a spike into the postage stamp corner. Wintouch was just trying to get over there. Actually gambled a little bit too far. These guys read the game so well, particularly at the back of the court when you're defending, anticipating what the striker's going to do. Zulkifli, another good serve. 3 service winners from Zulkifli Razak, and no service errors at the moment. As the second Regu look on, approvingly. Again, nice, solid stance. Good use of the hip. 5-8. Again, Satu. They say it better than I can. Textbook takraw. The roll spike. And Myanmar, with Malaysia on a high, Myanmar decide that now was a good time to call their allocated timeout. Myanmar competing against an opponent and a stadium and an atmosphere. They have hosted Sepaktakraw events, international events in the past, not as a World Cup level. We're in India in 2025, we've been in Korea in 2022. So spreading the word of takraw. The project's ongoing in Africa, so I believe Nigeria in particular, one of 6 or 7 nations taking interest, and seeing the Africans taking takraw seriously be quite fun. Explosive. Malaysia lead Myanmar 9-5. First match in the men's team REGU group match. Zulkifli Razak, a very good performance so far. 3 service winners from Zul. Good use of the head. And a roll spike into the net. Well, what went wrong? I've done that 1,000 times in practice, says Wunazo. .5-10, bit of pressure on the serve. Well, they've got that to a fine tune, have Malaysia. This group are called the Trio Pantai Timur, the East Coast Trio. All hailing from that part of the world, and there's a togetherness there. 11-5. Zul, splendid service game so far. Consistency, that's such a difficult art as a tekong. It's in play. Wunazo, lovely little touch, didn't go for power. He's matching Afifudin, spike for spike. However, he's missed a couple. Sheen Wunazo. .6-11 though, comfortable lead for Malaysia. Big service for once, Afifudin. Couldn't sort it out with his head. He's a corporal in the Royal Malaysian Air Force, is Afifudin.
11-7.
Save. Set. Thank you, Corporal. Twelve to 7. Looking at a good team.
7.
Against good opponents. 6 spike winners for Afifudin Razali. Spin serve, well read by Ideal. Right foot, Afifudin cross court. Well, he missed the first spike he went for. He's been perfect since then, Afifudin. Plus he's registered a block as well. It's been a strong first set from him. Ideal Lyman has read many of the serves that have come on his side of the net. Afifudin's also made the first contact very well. Good defense helping solid offense for Malaysia. But it's on the backbone of this fella, Zulkifli Razak. Spin serve. Well done, Minu. Semi-block. Oh, he kept it alive. Self-set. Unable to deliver. I think Zulkifli might have got a touch in there. If so, Tekong has got himself a spike winner at the net. The replay will confirm this. First Afifudin with his second block. Then he does well to keep it alive. He does. He sticks a big right foot up there. And that'll do for Zul. Set point, Malaysia. And it's a service error that puts it out from home. Hanwin Tut. Malaysia have taken the first game 15 to 7 in impressive style.
Malaysia leads 15 to 7.
First set highlight of Malaysia versus Myanmar Team REGU competition. It's a group from which both teams have already qualified for the quarterfinals. A good start for Myanmar, who went on to a 3-0 tear, but then Afifudin Razali got into his stride. 7 spike winners for Afifudin. Zulkifli Razak helped himself to 3 service winners and a spike winner towards the end. And defensively helped by Ideal, who is a cool operator at Tekong. Sorry, at feeder. On the other side of the net, it's 5 spike winners for Sheena Winazor. But they weren't able to cope with Zulkifli Razak. His defense, the backbone for Malaysia's 15-7 first game lead. No changes of personnel coming into the second set. Malaysia beat India 3-0. Myanmar lost one of the matches when they took on India, winning it 2-1. Again, it's the number of matches you win that gives you the final score. If in a group the number of matches won and lost is equal, then you go down to the number of sets. If they're equal, then you go down to the number of points. If they're equal, I'm not quite sure what happens. I never read the rule book that deep. A little bit of moisture on the court. Right, set number 2. Amwin Tut at the Tekong circle. Again, one of these with a slightly square on. Good serve, good header from Afifuddin. A lovely gentle set gives Afifuddin the chance to add to his 7. Ideal's been pretty perfect in the sets he's made. And then a stellar first set from Zulkifli Razak. A terrific stretch. Oh, and a block from Afifuddin. Well, there wasn't much wrong with that. The block from Winter was sensational. Minu put it centre of the net for Wanazo. Afifuddin, he says, no, you shall not pass. Well, they're challenging the net again. And again, Afifuddin's got that unfortunate little, I'm not going to call it a tick, but his right foot extends towards the net. I don't think it does this time. They've got away with one so far. Not happy with the decision. Manager Lintor. The decision has been made, not over is the deciding word. But he does have this little way of pushing his foot towards. It's close, it's right on the margin, isn't it? You can understand why Myanmar were less than 100% happy with the decision. But it's a second block for Afifuddin Razali. Oh, save from Ideal. Claim of a hand. Myanmar have claimed the hand. I don't think it is. Let's have a look how close Ideal is here. No, one touch. The little push kick from Minu. Off the chest, onto the body. Some back spike from Afifuddin Razali at the moment. Everything is going Malaysia's way. Sometimes you like the luck to go against you in these group games. Sometimes, just so that it's saved up for later. First service error from Zul. Too much power. Incredibly taxing Sepaktakraw, particularly on the Tekongs. See these boys stretching before they come onto court, and they really need to. Afifuddin again in control. Good use of the head. Excellent use of the outside of the right foot. He's on to double digits in terms of spike winners, Afifuddin Razali. Quarterfinals tomorrow at 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Both these teams will be involved, and Zulkifli Razak will be hoping that he's able to carry on this Excellent form that he's taking. 4 service winners, and that's the fastest of the lot. He's not normally known for his power, but just leans through that as Wintut leans back. It's good. It's been called in. Service ace. First ace of the match. And Wintut right down the sideline. It's flat. It's spinning away from Afifudin. Lovely. Just dips at the last second. Well, that's worth keeping an eye on, the movement in the circle. That foot is raised. 5-2 with the serve. Second service error. Second set is very often when fatigue will kick in. For the Tekongs, the fitness levels are massively improved since the first World Cup in 2011. And in Malaysia, the introduction of the professional Sepaktakraw League, the fitness levels of the players has gone up exponentially. As have the skills. The skills have always been there. How about that gentle little cushion over from Afifudin, who's a master of his trade. Time out being called by Myanmar once again. They're trailing 6-3. They've not done a lot wrong. Malaysia are just playing very well on the other side of the net. Encouragement. That's the order of the day. And again, there's not a lot that they've done wrong. They put the aces in. They've just come up against a very, very strong Malaysian trio. Second REGU of Myanmar. Behind that Malaysia team at the back.
Ready? Set.
6-3 on Zulkifli, but 2 service errors this set. What's that little rest done for him? Minu high in the Titiwangsa sky, and Razak thinks about the family jewels before he thinks about kicking over the advertising hoarding for the sponsoring hotel. Lovely set this. Just invites Wanazor.
Ready?
So a comeback of sorts. Then too far out from Wintut. That's his 3rd service error. 2 in the first set, 1 in the second. Malaysia have that 3 point advantage and the 1 set advantage in the first of the 3 matches. Razak, 3rd service error now. It's different end of the court, but the measurements are identical. You look at the ball toss coming in from Afifuddin. They're pretty consistent, they work on this all the time. Sometimes you're red hot like he was in the first set, Zul. Sometimes you go a little bit cold. The key is to be consistent. Wintut. He's losing a little bit consistency as well. That's his 4th error. A bit of frustration showing from Cho Min-so. A flashlight in the crowd. It just caused a little bit of disruption and a stop. Over on the far side, I can tell you Vietnam have taken the first set against Thailand. Here Malaysia lead Myanmar by 1 set to love. Myanmar in the blue, Malaysia in the black. Wanazo didn't go for full power. If you go for full power, that's very often when the blocks are effective. Zol makes his back broad. He comes off at an oblique angle because there's not a lot of venom in the spike. 7th spike winner in total for Shin Wanazo. Not the best set. And it's been picked up. Wanazo is there. Fancy from Ideal. Oh, it's a highlight reel from Ideal Ayman. Looking forward to this replay. Afifuddin will get the point, but Ideal Ayman, cool as you like. The 28-year-old, when it comes back here, it's an excellent set. Yay! And he controls it. And you know what? He means it. It's not luck, this. They practice it, and they've got the ability. It deserves the trumpet call that it's getting at the moment from Ideal. Afifuddin, meantime, his acrobatics have landed him 1 bad landing too many. A couple of times he's landed on that right shoulder in the men's regu. It was causing him a problem as well. So asking Ideal, how do you do that back flick again? TM ISTAF Sepaktakraw World Cup 2026. Thailand won the men's regu. Malaysia won the quadrant tournament. This is the team regu event. It's a little bit long. Now 4 service errors all in this set. So 4 of the 7 Myanmar points have come from mistakes from Zul. I say mistakes, you try this at home. It is outrageous what these boys do, particularly the Tekongs. Legs split 180 degrees, control the ball at the same time. Afifuddin can't kill. Nicely done by Minu. Oh, Now Myanmar, they've just edged themselves back into this game. More than edged themselves back in. They're only 1 point adrift. Lovely from Minu. Read the only pace Afifudin could really put that ball was towards the circle. Zulkifli Razak is maybe asking Ideal, that back flick that you just did, how'd you do it again?
Nine, 8.
9-8, he needs to get his serving shoes on again, and he has. And he has. Good response. 4 service errors now, 4 service winners. And a service error. This game can change in a couple of points. Myanmar, they were right back in the contest. Then a service winner followed by a service error. Changes the whole complexion. 5th of the game, 3rd of this second stanza for Wintut. Malaysia 4 points away from taking this first match. But we've seen Myanmar, this little trio are gutsy.
11, 8.
Spin serve on the line. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Minu watches this. The problem for Minu is he watches it onto the line. Rakes the sole of the plimsoll under that, and Minsu goes, who moved that line? First service ace. 8-12 on serve. Now a big task for Myanmar. They've done a good job there. Wintut, remarkably, only a second service winner. That's how well he's been played at the other side of the net. It has been based on some excellent play from Zulkifli Razak and Ideal Ayman defensively. Malaysia being able to give the opportunities to Afifudin.
Ready? 9.
Profile of Zulkifli. Oh, Afifudin, a hat-trick of blocks. His right leg is horizontal to the top of the net. That's just a little side paddle. Once again, he's got that little forward momentum towards the net. This time there is no challenge coming in from Myanmar. It is a feature though of Afifudin. Followed by a service error. This was close at 9-8 to Malaysia. But since then, 6 of the next 7 points have gone to the home team, to the home REGU. A match point now in the first of the 3 matches. And Jais on the left. Nothing seems to ruffle him. Zulkifli takes a moment. Afifudin with the ball toss. The crowd tells you all you need to know. Malaysia victorious. 15-7, 15-9. Very professionally done on the back of an excellent performance by Zulkifli Razak. 6 service winners for him. He came hot once again in the latter stages of the second set. after being a little bit cold. But the crowd are happy, the flags are waving. And the first win of the night belongs to the first REGU. "33-year-old Afifudin and 33-year-old Zulkifli with the comparatively youthful Aidil, who's 28, with a 15-7, 15-9 victory. Trio Pantai Timor get big hugs from the rest of the squad. Amol Zazwan going through. Match highlights from the first match of the group contest between Malaysia in black and the blue-clad Myanmar. Myanmar off to a good start. They won the first 3 points, which quietened the crowd. A full house here at Titiwangsa Stadium, near full house anyway. 3/4 of the stands jam-packed. But then Afifudin Razali and Zulkifli Razak got into their stride. Blocks galore. Lovely relaxed play coming in also from Aidil Ayman. And the East Coast trio, helped by a block himself from Zulkifli Razak, were able to go and take the first set by 15 points to 7. It will be a better start into the second set for Malaysia. It was they who were leading, and they who were getting the rub of the green on occasion. Minu thought that he'd poked home a winner. Aidil responded quickly. It was good work coming in from Shen Wunazo. 7 spike winners for him. But Zulkifli, after a poor patch in the middle of the set when he had 4 service errors, he finished up with an ace and 6 service winners. Also 3 blocks in there for Afifudin Razali to add to 13 spike winners. So the stats, I think, will be pretty positive for Malaysia. All 3 of their players performed admirably. 1 ace, 6 service winners, 13-8 in terms of spike winners. You had the 3 blocks, and that's a pretty impressive performance. Only 5 errors, Myanmar very tight as well. That was a good quality game that Malaysia take 15-7, 15-9. We'll be straight on to the second REGU. Myanmar team already out on the court, it must be said. They're keen and eager and ready to go, because they've already, the 3 out on the court, well, 2 of them anyway, were part of the team that beat Malaysia. This same Malaysia REGU that they're facing in the singles, or in the normal REGU competition. Yetet and Farhan Adam, the respective feeders. Match going on adjacent court between Thailand and Vietnam. It's 1 set apiece in this. We're just about to get the second match underway. Officials for this one: referee Haron Kosnan and Muhammad Sabir from Indonesia. The referee and the assistant, they're the ones to really keep an eye out on. Malia Shaverdi and Chen Jingo continue in their position as the challenge judges. The giant figure and the giant back of Shahir Rosdi Big shoulders, recognised as the world's #1. Tekong, no pressure then, Shahir. But to be fair, he's worked on it over a long period of time. Here's the second REGU lineup. Myanmar on the left. Lunpo as Tekong. I've not seen him play, but Ongong is a wonderful striker. And Yetet an excellent feeder. Can Lunpo match Shahir Rosdi? Can Shahir actually get a little bit of form back? He's blown hot and cold so far in the ordinary REGU. On the bench, the Tekong Tant Zintum is available. And if he is going to come on, it could well be in this match. Love to see that matchup between him and Shahir. Malaysia's 3 non-playing reserves, Arif Marikam, very capable Tekong, Sulafendi Sumari and Hafizul Hayazi. That's not a bad team in its own right, actually. And they're only the reserves. Nice quick turnaround as Haran Kosnam introduces the respective teams. The crowd getting ready. Line judges and the assistant referee for today's experience is Muhammad Sabir from Indonesia. Eyes front. Okay. Right, there is a change. How about that? How about that? I was waiting for this. Yeah, like that one. Zintan, that was the matchup. Very, very cute. I love mind games. Before a ball has been served, Myanmar have brought in Tant Zintan to go up against Shahir Rosdi. Don't you love it? Spin serve to get us underway. Aslan Alias rises high. Oh, a little bit of spice right at the very start. It was a decent serve. Aslan rises high, right then. Shahir, they brought on Zintan because they think he can deal with Shahir Rosdi. And he nearly does. Oh, it's still alive. Farhan. Aslan edging backwards. Oh, highlight reel already. Well, that's brilliant to keep it in play from Ongong. The set from Farhan, not perfect. That's superb from Zintan. But look at this, step. Fast feet from Aslan Alias. Shahir. And a gentle little cushion. Well, you keep thinking that Aslan Alias is going to be superseded as Malaysia's #1 striker. And year after year he comes back, and his versatility, his swiftness, his IQ, his tackle IQ, and his passion for the sport as well. Never mind his athleticism and ability. 3-0 Shahir, good first serve when he went in. Right. Shahir on song is one thing, Shahir off song. Potential problem. Which Shahir is it? Normally, he's the on song. Zintan coming in as second. When I saw these lineups, I couldn't believe that Zintan wasn't in any of the 3 REGUs. Shahir's. Yeah, nice block. Ongong, he's more than capable as well, Ongong. Malaysia challenging the net there very early on. Hong Kong didn't look particularly over, and I'm surprised that they've actually gone for this. Oh, well, my angle, and Aslan Alias's view of this, very, very different, and this is going to cause a cheer. He is indeed over, so the point goes to Malaysia. Well, the evidence is right in front of our camera. 4-1. Bit unfortunate for Hong Kong. Look how high he got up. Second service error for Shahir. When he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold, he's not. Two-4. Farhan dealt with a powerful serve. And Aslan this time goes around the side of Hong Kong. Fourth spike winner already for Aslan Alias. But any time the ball is in play, Malaysia have won the point. Again, Hong Kong very, very close to the net. Indeed, if it got the block, that might have been disallowed as well. 5-2. Better serve. Because of his height, his natural movement takes the attack raw away from his opponent. And he's also got real pace. When he first came onto the scene, there wasn't a lot of muscle in those legs. He was tall and skinny. Now he's tall and powerful. Shahir Rosdi. Zintan. Again, Farhan steps in. Aslan, some back cross court. 7 points Malaysia, 5 of them belonging to the spiking ability of Aslan Alias. This is the elite Malaysian trio. Shahir 29 now. Aslan 31, but as light as anything. Spin serve. Well met by Yetet. Oh, Farhan. Remarkable. Aslan. Remarkable, but has it come inside the net? Aslan says yes it has. The referee says yes it has. No challenge from the Myanmar officials. There's a white line on the net which marks the court markings. You've got to come on the inside of that. Farhan Adam, wonderful. Aslan, equally impressive. That's why they're Malaysia's elite trio. Couldn't kill. Hong Kong. Just kept alive. Second chance for Hong Kong. Nice. Nice little low set coming in from Yetet. Didn't allow Malaysia to defend. Hong Kong. Well, he's on the score, but it's taken a while. Aslan sensible. Just keep the ball in play, but look at that low set. You don't see it often. An inside-out delivery. Chance for Ong Ong again. He's the superstar striker. I couldn't quite get there. Myanmar won Asian Games at the 2023 competition, beating Indonesia in the men's REGU final. Ong Ong part of that team. Save, set. Nice. It's a ridiculously difficult sport, made to look incredibly routine and easy. I'm from the UK, and try and describe Sepaktakraw to friends and colleagues, and it's difficult. Then you show them a video and they look at you as if you're daft. Wonderful skills from Aslan Alias. Myanmar call a timeout at 4-9 down. In all honesty, this trio haven't really got into things. They sprang the surprise by bringing on Zintan before a pointer being played. Tan Zintan suddenly appeared, but he's not been able to make any significant dent in the scoreline. And he's not been able to deal with the serves that have gone over the net from Shahir Rosdi. Shahir's at the Tekong circle once again. 7th serve, 2 errors so far for Shahir. Well dealt with, Ong Ong. Give him a chance, Ong Ong, and he is a world-class spiker. Farhan waits. Shahir tackled so well. Block from Ong Ong. Nicely done. That's twice now he's outwitted Aslan at the net. Well, they're edging back into it. It's a good timeout. They've won both points since the timeout, and Ong Ong once again makes himself very big. Gets very close to the net. Doesn't touch it. And then a little bit of attitude, that's what Takraw's all about. Important serve this for Shahir and Malaysia. Lose this and the set takes on a different complex. Farhan to set Aslan. That time went down the middle. Ong Ong anticipated cross court. Nicely done from Aslan, 8 spike winners. High hips. That allows him to flick from over the top of the net. 6-10. Farhan, reactions of a cat. Aslan, ever reliable. .31, Aslan Farham, who fed him that 37, ageless Johorian as Farham. Shahir. Whoa, service ace. That's what he wanted, that's what the crowd wanted. Not quite been firing on all cylinders, but once he does get going, boom, unplayable. Well, they're challenging the service. They're going to say Shahir's left foot was moving an awful lot around the circle. Even if not successful, it's very often a good tactic to do. It just puts a little bit of doubt in the mind of the opposition Tekong. They put some doubt in the mind, but there is no doubt there was no fault. The ace counts for Shahir. Maybe there was a little bit of lift before the ball reached him. Spin serve, even Farhan can't get there. That's quality. And remarkably, the first time that we've seen Zintum make a dent on the score mark. Oh, lovely. Great camera. Just shows the backspin. That's the drop over the net. 12-7 though. Shahir. That's being called in. That will be a challenge. Looked pretty adjacent. The line judge has called that in. He was right there. He had a little think about it. Didn't have his the pull to the left that he often has. Went straight down the middle this time, Shahir. But what he did have was, it's had it on the line. Second service ace in quick succession for Shahir. Right on the line. You can understand why they've appealed. But all it does, it gets the trumpets going again. Farham with the save. Aslam takes us to set point. 10 spike winners in the first set for Aslan Alias. This is why he's number one, you know. Oh, still alive. Farham, and oh, it's still alive. third phase. Hong Kong, well, that surprised everybody. Still gain points at 14-8. Still gain points, but it'll be 14-9. That's better. This is useful because suddenly Zintan is getting into a groove. That time it's Aslan's left knee that takes it away from Shahi, who might have been able to play it. All right, let's just settle things down. This is an experienced trio. Still recognised as Malaysia's #1, despite the World Cup semi-final loss to Myanmar. That's long as well. 3 game points saved. 3 service errors, 2 aces, 1 service winner for Shahir. It's going to be a challenge. It did look long. This is a group game. Both nations already qualified for the next phase. Quite a long way out. And the timeout has been called, I think by Malaysia, just because they've actually conceded 3 points in a row on set point. So Jimmy Samad with the encouragement. Malaysia 1 match to the good, and 1 point away from being 1 set to the good in the second match. There's the third Regu. I can see in the far corners stretching, impossible stretches. I'm sure these fellas' hamstrings are made of rubber. Well done Myanmar, they've delayed kind of inevitable victory for Malaysia, and they've got themselves some points on the board and a little bit of momentum. The latest stoppage just for the armband to be fixed for Farhan. Remarkable longevity of Farhan Adam. 17 years at the top end of the game throughout the whole World Cup era. Okay. Might be too late to save the set, but they've just changed the momentum in this game. Zintan, he's had a couple of service winners in his last 3 serves. And an ace now. He's suddenly in the game. 4 in a row from 7-14 to 11-14. Malaysia don't convert this chance, it suddenly becomes a little bit scary. I have seen games where 7 and 8 points have been lost. But Shahir is not normally involved in them. And he won't be this time, because he's fired a shot straight in at Ongong. And when in doubt, bring the big guns out for Shahir Rosdi. 2 service winners, 2 big aces. And Malaysia take the first game a little less comfortably than they would have liked. They've taken it nonetheless at 15-11. Let's have a look at the best of the action from the first set of this second REGU. The big broad back of Shahir Rosdi, but his big left foot was symptomatic in enabling Malaysia to get up to a fine start. Aslan Alias with kills galore, 10 spikes from the diminutive, long-lasting Aslan. On the other side, the net, Ongong and Zinton and Yetet took a little while to get themselves going. It was only belatedly that they did. Then Ongong was able to convert 3 spikes, but it finished with a service winner from Shahir, punching the air with delight. More takraw art. Malaysia in focus. Again, in terms of qualification for the quarterfinals, both these nations already through. Both have beaten India, 3-team group, the top 2 go through. But once you hit the quarterfinals, which start tomorrow, semi-finals and final on Saturday. Malaysia in the black. First serve, race to 15. Aslan with the ball toss. Shahir is well met by Zinton. Ongong can't kill. Can Aslan? Aslan can kill. Touch on the net by Ongong anyway. Ten spike winners in the first set for Aslan Alias, make it 11 now. Zinton got his serving boots on towards the end of the first set, but he's being tackled. Aslan had to come a long way back, and too much of a stretch for Zinton. Good start from Malaysia, fast start once again, gets the crowd going. It's a noisy but very knowledgeable takraw crowd here at in Malaysia at Sitiwangsa Stadium. A lot of the faces I've seen over the years at the local league, which is a very good competition. Of course, it's all the international events that are held here at Sitiwangsa, right in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. Brilliant from Shahir. Impossible, the pace and the angle of the attack as well. Well, Zulkifli Razak, he's done his duty. He can wear the silly glasses and support his team. I hope they're silly glasses he's wearing. that's close. And out. Went right for the far corner. A little bit too much on it there from Sintam. It is his first service error. He's got everything else in. Malaysia won the first set by 4. Off to a 4-point lead at the start of this second stanza. Trying to secure the overall tie if they win this set. Oh! Unstoppable. Truly unstoppable. I can't think of a Tekong in the world who'll be able to get on the side of that. Well, they're challenging the left foot. They just want to spoil our fun. It was a work of takraw art, that from Shahir Rosdi. The challenge will be about movement. He does have a little hop, that's in his style as he starts his movement, but normally the left foot is planted when he strikes through with his right. Well, they're taking a long time over this one. Such indecision is normally a bad sign for team who are being appealed against. What Shahir normally does is the first movement is flat foot, then there's a little skip to take him to the front of the circle, but it's at the point of contact. Then we aren't allowed on this world feed to show a replay until a decision has been made. Once again, Myanmar not happy with the end result, but the service ace has been confirmed. Look at the left foot, is there movement? Point of contact, he's touching. Oh, it's close though, isn't it? It is close. It's been decided in favour of Shahir, third service ace. And then Farham, light as a feather. And a little ding from Aslam. 13 spike winners out of 19 Malaysia points. Makes it look so simple. Just off the heel of the plimsoll. Myanmar calling a timeout. 6-love down at the start of the second set. It's not what they wanted. They had momentum coming through at the end of the first, and very often you'd think they'd be able to carry that over, but it hasn't happened here. They've been blown away by the serving of Shahir. One set down, love 6 down. This is a good trio. This is the trio who beat Malaysia, the exact same trio on the other side of the net. Good to see the kids coming in, young and old alike. It's a terrific sport for the kids to be involved. Family sport. Passions do run high sometimes, though. Six love. Aslan relentless. Shahir. Very often a timeout can just break the concentration of a Tekong. Not Shahir. It's landed just on the inside. And suddenly he's right in the groove. Curls it away, makes it so difficult. Even if you guess right. 4 service aces. And a 7-0 lead for Malaysia in the black. Better from Zintam. His third service winner straight into the knee of Shahir. Zintam braver than I would be, standing just level with the circle. But dealing with it wonderfully well. Ongong. Farhan. Saw it clean as you like. Third phase. Farhan and Aslan. Well, wonderful defense. Turned into attack. On the initial phase, Aslan got up the way, so Farhan could have a clear view of the tackle. That's the one. Aslan just gets up the way. Farhan, he then delivers. And when it comes back on the third phase, Farhan this time, no mistake. Aslan alias, 14 spike winners. No wonder they're the elite trio. Spin serve. Farhan, quick as you like. Aslan, penetrative. Well, this is classic stuff from Malaysia. This is top draw stuff. Crowd loving it. And justifiably so. Nine 9-1. Shahir in the groove so far this set. That one just too far wide. Tried to replicate what he did the serve before. Just dragged it too much, but it's been a very effective service for him. That's his first error of this second set. Ooh, that's worth a challenge. Ooh. Ooh. No challenge. Farhan can't control. Which isn't a phrase you'll hear very often. Farhan can't control. Well, Aslan's been a busy boy, can understand. He might need a bit of attention, but Farhan, maybe the shock of not getting a return in first time. It's the fact those bones on that back of his is 37 years of age now. How many more years can Farhan Adam go on? Nice stand. So Shahir set up, ready to go. Again, he's gone to the right, and again Ongong can't cope with it. Ongong is standing maybe a foot inside the sideline, and Shahir is just using that as target practice. Again, he's gone down the right-hand side. And Ongong, as low as he can get, just can't control it because it's coming at him too quickly. Shahir Rosdi, 4 aces, 4 service winners, 4 errors. And Malaysia closing in at a rate of knots on a second match victory. Third REGU players are getting ready, still stretching. Malaysia 4 points clear. Again, this is only for top place in the group. Quarterfinals, the knockout phases, come tomorrow. When he's like this, he's unplayable, Shahir. It's why he's world number 1. It's why he's one of the more recognised faces in Malaysian sport. People know the name Shahir Rosdi. Farham. Aslam. A little tickle from Aslam. Both here in Hong Kong. Hong Kong gets high up in the air. The elevation both get is remarkable. Both boys, their hips above the top of the net. I think it's fair to say Aslan's won the battle of the net 16-3 in terms of spike winners. Again, he's gone for this right-hand side for Ongong. A little bit too much on it. But he's in the positive 9 winners or aces. Oh, there is a challenge this time. They didn't challenge last time, when maybe they should. This time, I'm not quite sure that this is this has got the same closeness. But I've been wrong multiple times before. I'm sure I'll be wrong again. Again, it's close. Managers invited. It is indeed out. But the previous one is probably worth more of a challenge. .413 though. Ball toss from Ongong. Monta's in turn. Farhan reads it. Well, difficult one to kill. Ongong. Well, trying to get out of the way. Farhan just couldn't swivel the chest up the way. Yitet does well. Ong Gong kills. Takes him on to 5 spike winners. And as in the first set, a little bit of late resistance coming from Myanmar. I think their coaches would much prefer that this kind of form came earlier on in the sets, so it wasn't a rear guard action. Service error from Zintan, just his 3rd of the match. He's had an ace, 4 service winners and now 3 errors, and it sets up match point for this second match. It all sets up the tie point as far as Malaysia are concerned. The 3rd match will take place no matter what. If it's a knockout, there's no need, but in the group stages, they do play all of the matches. Aslam, nonchalant control. Even that nonchalant control of attack row, you try that. It's beyond the skills of most mere mortals. 14-6. Aslam. Measured ball toss. Shahir blasts one off the top of the tape. A 5th service ace to end the match in favour of Malaysia's top trio. A little bit of revenge for the defeat they had against the same REGU in the men's REGU competition. But Shahir really got to grips with this after a not great opening. He's found his range, found his mark. 5 aces, 5 winners. And there's a little bit of anger in that one as well, as far as Malaysia are concerned. Not from the crowd, they're happy. They've seen another victory by 2 sets to love. Malaysia taking this one 15-11, 15-6. Very impressively as well. Match highlights from Myanmar in blue versus Malaysia, group match in the men's team REGU competition. Both teams already through to the quarterfinals, having beaten India, the top 2 in the group going through, but Malaysia with a little bit of revenge in the air because they'd lost to this same REGU, this same 3 in the REGU in the semi-finals. Myanmar going on to make it to the silver medal. Aslan Alias, the number 5, in fabulous form, getting the better of Ong Gong. 10 spike winners in the first set alone for Aslan Alias, showing exactly why he remains Malaysia's premier striker. The service, as always, from the veteran Farhan Adam was immaculate. Just one error I can think of from Farhan, and the teamwork was very good. There was just a little bit of a late response coming in from the visitors as they worked hard to block, but Malaysia just have this tenacity to keep on going. Took the first game 15-11 and into the second game. Again, they played together for so long, this trio. As fans, young and old, know exactly what to expect when these 3 play. Acrobatics from Aslan Alias. He would finish with 16 spike winners. On the other side, a little bit of belated response once again from Ong Gong. He would finish with 5 spike winners, but it would be Shahir's 5th ace that brought matters to a conclusion. Malaysia win this, which is all well and good. Got to do it when it comes to the big games tomorrow. Once we hit the knockout, of 5 aces to 1, 5 service winners to 4, 16 spike winners to 6, and very few errors on either side of the net. Again, high quality. This has been a high quality World Cup, and that match was high quality, with Malaysia taking it 2 sets to love for an uncatchable 2-match to love lead. Match referee for this one, Fandi Kaha from Singapore, Manjunath from India, the assistant referee, Chen and Sharvati from Islamic Republic of Iran and China respectively are the challenge referees. And the challenges have been utilised. Not too much disputes, couple raised eyebrows from Myanmar on one or two. There's the Myanmar REGU, which will be Ong Myo Cho, Tat Piang So and Chin Tant. Chin Tant will be the Tekong. Malaysia, Haziq Nizam, the 24-year-old 6'6" left footer, alongside the far more experienced Amrul Zazwan and Noor Aizat Nordin. Well, we saw Tan Zintun come on as a substitute before a shot had been played in the last match. Didn't come off that little gamble, but we enjoyed it. Zarif Zulafendi and Hafizul, all very, very capable. Andy Kaha from Singapore in charge of proceedings.
Representing Malaysia, on my left representing Myanmar. Players in.
And from India, Manjunata. Thumbs up. A young Regu, Ong Tatan Chin.
Players ready? Players ready? Third Regu, first set, Malaysia to serve. Love, oh!
Asian Games experience and Kings Cup experience for the Thai trio. Service error first out for Haziq Nizam. To be fair to him, it did look like a fairly low ball toss to him. Malaysia have won the match. They will top the group, but they'd just like to get in some form. Haziq Aizat and Amrul Zazwan.
Point Malaysia.
Service error apiece. There have been excellent crowds for the Malaysian matches in particular.
1-0.
Also some general interest in the whole tournament. Held in Malaysia for the third time.
Players ready? 1, 2.
Now the block comes in. It was too high, too close to the net. But Aizat had to really deal with that. And so first points on the board there for Pang So. He'll be happy with that. And that will be a block.
2-all.
Better serve. Dealt with though by Pang So.
Point
Too much on that from Pang So. Some back spike, but very aware that Aizat was really close. Aizat's brilliant defending. Just have a look at the Malaysia striker. How much net he covers. Ideally, you'd like that to be a horizontal leg, level with the top of the net.
2, 3.
Second service error.
Malaysia.
Having three strong Tekongs is difficult.
Is ready? 4, 2.
Hazik well read. That's better. Lovely roll spike, clean as you like. That's nice from Pang, so gets him on the scoreboard. Nice header up in the air. It allows his feeder, Ang Mo Chor, just to set things up nicely for him. There's the beauty. Roll spike, 3-point landing. Swivel through the hips. Saw the axis. Hazik defends. Amaral went straight down the middle. Isaac. They haven't quite got it together yet, Amaral and Isaac. A couple of times Isaac's been given a difficult spike. This is a case in point. Has to come back. As soon as you're taking a step or two away from the net, it's a little bit more difficult. You see, it's not quite high enough. That's got to be a flat spike over the shoulder. Can't be a downward trajectory, which is what will guarantee you the point. Hazik into the net, second service error. That's better. Isaac able to get right on top of that. So Isaac's in the game. Admiral Zazwan will feel a lot better about that as well. Well, I think we're going to see a change here. This is Yan Pangu coming on as a spiker. Well, 24-year-old, 6'6". When he gets it right, he's impossible to stop. That's his first service winner. Chintant is struggling a little bit. 3 service errors. I think Malaysia's 8 points. Sometimes you can just be trying too hard. Now they've made a second change actually. Mintat 2 is on. Tattoo that time. Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Yampang, he's off the mark. Actually made a double change. Did Myanmar. And that's a better serve coming in from Tattoo. So following a first service error, Myanmar won back-to-back points, back in the game. 5-8. Hazik, although he's left-footed with his tech-on work, is genuinely two-footed as a receiver.
6.
Zazwan to the left foot of Hazik. Nice lift, roll spike into the net. He didn't quite get his elevations right there. So the first involvement. Pangu. It is a nice set coming in from Yokjo.
6.
Aswan. Coming on third, I always feel is a slight problem because you're waiting. You're watching the other games, but you've got to focus on your own game first and foremost.
Please, ready? Please yourself. Ready? 9-7. Line out. Point Malaysia.
And if this has gone in, they do like to get involved. Oh, it's gone out. 7-11. Spin serve into the net.
Ready, player.
Second error from Tatu. Fifth error overall. Just wanting to correct the tape. That white line is in line with the outside of the court. And the ball must cross the net inside that line.
Play number 8. One more. Place ready. Pick up.
Chief referee doubling up as groundsman.
11-7.
11-7. They're now playing particularly well, Malaysia. That's a better bit of serving from Haziq. 2 service errors, now 2 service winners. Getting into his groove.
Place ready. 7-12. Point Myanmar.
Two service winners now from the substitute Tekong. Not the tallest, just oh, it drops right in front of Haziq. Does play on his heels a little bit. If he is vulnerable, it's to those who don't quite have the pace. He plays pace very well. Difficult. Oh, superb. Oh, Yan Pangu. Arguably the shot of the day, the way he's produced this one, because he's come back into the middle of the court. It's over his shoulder. It's dropping awkwardly. And it's too much for Amrul Sazwan.
9-12.
That's in as well. Well, they're right back in this set. Tanyu is the main protagonist. That's a good serve. Amrul leaves. Service ace for Min Tanyu.
12-10.
Right, this becomes a big serve for Haziq and Malaysia. Not in terms of the match, that is one, but in terms of his own self-confidence. I don't need to tell you that Haziq has a ton of self-confidence.
Ready? 10-13.
Save, set, Aizat. Another partial block. Excellent,
Myanmar.
excellent work from Pangu. You can see why they made the changes. Pangu and Tattoo have come on and really made Myanmar competitive in this REGU. Thailand look like they're on the way to a 3-0 win over Vietnam in another group game. Meantime, Yan Piango to receive a little bit of treatment. And Thailand 2 sets, 2 matches to love up. And 15-6, 10-2 up in the third REGU against Vietnam. Against Philippines, sorry.
Ready? Ready? 13-11.
As he edges us closer to game point. Set points, it's not been easy. Tattoo does well. That's another good serve from Tattoo. That's his third service winner plus an ace. Piles the pressure on Haziq for this particular serve. Again, when the pressure's on, Haziq has tended to respond. And just as he's coming in to serve, Myanmar call a timeout, just to pile a little bit more pressure on him.
Players in the court. Players ready. Game point 14-12.
Well, it's still alive.
Point
And another saved point. Well done. They are resilient on their serve. And Tattoo's been very good since he came on. That's Pangu's 4th spike winner, just pushes it into Aizat Nordin.
ready.
So it's still game point for Malaysia. 2 have been squandered. If we go to 14 each, it takes us to 17.
14.
The pressure toll just a little bit too much. A service error. His third means that Malaysia just scraped through 15-13 Not particularly convincingly. That's one of the good things about these group games. It gets you time out on the court, get a little bit of the rust out the way. And Malaysia, job done so far. They've won the overall tie. They lead by 2 matches to 0. This is the 3rd match. It's kind of statistically irrelevant, but relevant for these 3 to be in the mood, because very often we'll go down to the 3rd REGU when it comes to the semi-finals and final. Here's some of the best of the highlights of the first set, which was a strange one. When Oriza couldn't really get going. He ends up with only 2 spike winners. And Amrul Zazwan unable to as well, but luckily Haziq was in the mood for spike winners for him. A double change of personnel on the opposite side of the net. Tat2 came on for Chin Tant, who'd struggled with 3 service errors. Yam Piangu came on for Myo Cho, who hadn't really struggled, but you like to keep your combinations together. And although they got it to 13-14, a service error from Tat2 means that Malaysia have the lead. I can tell you, Thailand have just beaten Vietnam by 3 matches to 0. The crowd enjoying themselves at the Titiwangsa Stadium.
Thumbs up, players in. Players in.
Second set underway, and a change coming up for Malaysia. Afzal Hayazi is going to come on for Noor Aizat. As you see, there's a difference in size, but Hafizul is very dynamic at the net. And give yourself as much game time as you possibly can. It's a striker for striker. Personally, I do not think it weakens Malaysia at all. Tat2 into Hafizal, who's straight into the game. And he'll go for the turn-back spike to get his scoring off the mark.
Ready? 1, left. Point, Myanmar.
I was always reaching for that one. Again, I sometimes look at the ball toss and wonder how guilty the Tekong is.
Ready? 1, 0.
It's a 3rd error for Haziq. 1-all. Save, set, Hafizal. It's nice and high, but didn't land well. It's landed very, very heavily as Hafizul Hayazi. And after a bit of taunting of the net, there's then an apology offered by Yam Piangu. And a telling off.
Number 5. Point, Malaysia.
Now the point has been given to Hafizal. It's an awkward fall, and I think it's because the taunting has happened as Hafiz Al-Hayazi is clearly hurt. Well, the challenge has come from Myanmar, and I think from the inadvertent replay that we showed, it's Myanmar who are the guilty party. Raddy's not at all happy, is he? The challenge was from Myanmar. They were saying that the Malaysian was over the net. And it's not.
Not over. Point
He's a
Malaysia.
very disgruntled senior referee.
Ready?
Okay, back to the game.
2-1.
2-1 to Malaysia. We'll update our scoreboard. The official scoreboard says 2-1. And we're back in play.
Point
And the
Myanmar.
player who'd been warned, Yan Piango, then does some legitimate scoring to make it 2 apiece. Lovely bit of some back spiking here. 1, 2, 3 strides, reaches, flexes those hamstrings.
2-all.
2-all. I like this Myanmar third Regu. Well, the one they've ended up with anyway. Hafizal,
Point
a block
Myanmar.
coming in. Terrific. Pangu.
Ready?
Nice high arch. Great shot, shows you how high they get, the youngster, Pangu.
Point Malaysia. Ready? 3-0.
Fifth service winner for Haziq. Amrul does well to rescue it, and Hafizal converts a wonderful spike. That'll get the crowd going. That'll get Malaysia going. Second spike winner for Hafizal. And the best assist by some distance for Amrul Zazwan, who's been a little bit becalmed, but that'll make him feel much more involved.
4-3.
Followed by a good serve. He can play it off the net. As he moves on to number 6.
Ready? 3-5.
Well, Haziq getting involved at the front of the net. He likes that, but Hafizal, dynamic since he came on at the start of this stanza. Save, self-set. And from a long way out, that's very good.
6-3.
6-3. And Haziq's in the mood. If this comes from that earlier assist from Amrul Zazwan, it got him fired up, it got the crowd into the game, and suddenly Malaysia have gone bang, bang, bang. Everybody's suddenly operating well. And a 4-point lead has suddenly emerge. That's the value of a home advantage. Good response with a service ace from Min Tat-tu. That's his second service ace. Very uncomplicated. Straight down the middle. Doesn't try to do an awful lot with that ball.
7-4.
7-4. Impossible to do with Haziq when he's really going. Service winners on 4 of Malaysia's 8 points in this second stanza. Malaysia lining up for a quarter-final berth. Well, they are in the quarter-finals, we know that. But lining up in good nick.
8.
This third REGU needs to be in good form. Amarul sees that better. Hafizul, different team altogether. Fourth spike winner for Hafizul. The team was becalmed and befuddled in the first set, and Amarul wasn't really feeling it. Now you see his emotion as he sets up Hafizul Hayazi, and the little man has made a big difference. And Haziq responds in Haziq style. Oh yeah. Feel a little bit for Myo Cho. This comes through him at a rate of knots. And Hafizul's header. Satudu, a Tiger, a perfect 1-2-3 and a 6 in a row for Malaysia. From 5-4 to 11-4. And it's a nice selection problem for the Malaysian selectors. The third REGU. Does Hafizul get a start?
11-4.
Another big serve from Haziq. Wow. And Malaysia are blasting away from this. Noisy, happy crowd.
Ready? 4-12.
And a little bit of delicacy as well. This is excellent from Malaysia. It's not awful from Myanmar. They are getting the ball back, they are playing, they are involved in the rallies. But the save and the set, and then the selection, very strong from Malaysia's third REGU.
Point Myanmar.
I was about to add the precursor, and Haziq has served magnificently, and then he goes and serves an error. It's his fourth of the match, but just his first of this second set,
5.
where Malaysia have flown away.
Point Malaysia.
And they set themselves up for a match point in double quick time. Energetic second stanza. Myanmar being unable to cope with it.
Ready? 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 Match point.
A look of resignation, but his team are in the next round. Not too much to worry about. And of course we end with a big serve from Haziq. He really is becoming an important player for Malaysia. I make that 12 service winners from the left foot of Haziq Nizam. Well, the Tigers, they are roaring.
Final result between Myanmar and Malaysia.
And Haziq, at just 24 years of age, is only going to get better with more experience at the top level. Malaysia win this one after a fairly edgy first set, 15-13, but in the second set they absolutely blew a very respectable Myanmar team away to take it by 15 points to 5 for a straight sets victory against a very dangerous opponent. Crowd are happy, Malaysia happy, but the real work starts tomorrow in the quarterfinals. And of course, wherever you're watching from around the globe, I hope you're enjoying this. If you're watching outside of Southeast Asia, Sepaktakraw is a remarkable sport, and you listen to the energy inside this Titiwangsa Stadium in the heart of Kuala Lumpur, and you can feel the energy. Thailand are the favourites. Thailand, the defending champions, do not write off the likes of Myanmar, though, or Korea Republic, who top their group, or Indonesia, who top their group. The real action starts tomorrow. Malaysia have done what they needed to do. They've won all 3 matches tonight and will be topping their group. Malaysia Malay. As we look at the best of the highlights of the whole match. Well, they changed the Tekong fairly early, did Myanmar, and they changed their starting striker. Tapiang So was taken off very early, but that was because Shintant was struggling. And when the replacements came on, Tatu and Pango, they certainly made life difficult for Malaysia, but Malaysia took the first set 15-13. That personnel change was key, because Hafiz Al-Azi came in and had a real amount of energy. There was a controversial moment where he hurts himself, and there's a warning, a telling off for Yang Pangu for taunting while Hafizul was hurt, but that just seemed to inspire Amrul Zazwan. That was a key moment. That got Amrul into the game, that got Hafizul into the game. It got the crowd really going, and from 5-4, Malaysia just went bang, 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 took this game away, scored 8 unanswered points, with Haziq Nizam in particular very impressive from the Tekong circle. That would be the match point appropriately. That would be the 6'6" phenom who saw Malaysia home. More difficult games to come, but it's thumbs up. Match stats from the third match we've just seen. Well, 3 service aces from Myanmar, but 11 service winners from Haziq, 10 spike winners, 8 of them from Hafizul Hayazi, and just 4 errors. That's impressive. You keep the errors down, you keep the ball in play, and it works wonders for you. So Malaysia win this 15-13, 15-5. Okay, let's see what that means for tomorrow's 4 quarterfinals. Thailand versus Brunei and Korea versus Myanmar on one side of the draw. Malaysia versus Japan in the afternoon. Indonesia versus Philippines. Then we move on to the semi-finals and final on Saturday. Tomorrow, let's have a look at the order of play. Malaysia will want to be on the show court, of course they will. They're the hosts, that's one of the jobs that they have. We have matches at 3 o'clock and 11. Again, it's best of 3 matches. Thailand versus Brunei is the first quarter-final. That starts at 3 o'clock. Malaysia versus Japan, that comes to you at 8 o'clock on the show court. And then we've got the semi-finals and final on Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock for the TM ISTAF Sepaktakraw World Cup Team REGU event. Bye for now.